Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. What is up, loyal royals? So in this video I'm going to be doing a watch me work freestyle fall goddess bling nails. That's what we'll call it. So let's jump in. So first we're going to start with the basic steps to prepping. I did speed it up a little bit so the video wouldn't be long. I'm going to push back the cuticles, of course. Make sure the client's hands is sanitized. Both of you, your hands and the client's hands. Then I'm going to take my round cuticle bit and I'm going to do the same thing. Push the cuticles back and make sure that I'm cleaning the cuticle area very, very well. After that, I'm going to clip the nails down and then I'm going to etch the nail plate. So after that, I'm going to go in with applying my tips. I am using KDS nail glue, and these are nail tips that I found on Amazon. They're just basic clear tips. So we're going for a long, square, skinny, crispy, perfect square set. So I like to apply my nails as close to the nail shape as possible. So I wanted the size of the tip to literally fit perfectly from sidewall to sidewall. Not too big, not too small. And typically, I don't know why, and comment down below if you notice this. So no matter what kind of nail tips I get, every single time I apply the pinkies, I notice that the pinkies are tremendously small. It's like the thumbnail is like extra long. Then as you work your way down, the middle nail is pretty much very close. The typical nail shape, the typical nail number, it's like a 2 or 3, I believe, for a middle nail. It's like the pinkies are so small that I have to double tip them, but the other nails are typically almost the same length. Has anybody else noticed that? Comment down below. So right now I'm double tipping because when I size up the ring finger and the pinky nail to make sure all nails are even, the pinky nails are too short. But into filing. So since we are doing a perfect square look, I'm taking my file and I am trying to get my file as straight as possible. So because my nails are long, typically I have to turn my hand and my file a certain way. As you see on the right side of the nail, when I file, my nail file is like completely straight up and down, or it is very parallel to the finger. But typically when I do the opposite side of my right hand, which would be the left or my client's right, the file looks slightly angled. Trust me, it's not angled at all. It is just the way that I have to hold the file because of my nails. But it is what works best for me. But if you want to get a perfect square look, you want to make sure that your nail file is literally parallel to the finger. So after I have prepped the nail plate and completely blended that nail tip with the free edge, I'm going to go in with my first coat of primer. Remember guys, typically if you know your client, if you know that they have super oily nail beds or they are prone to lifting, you want to do 2 coats of primer. If you know that your client typically has dry nail beds, you can apply 1 coat of primer, but it is up to you and it's up to the product. So my first bead that I put of acrylic, I am using C&D Intense Pink. I am placing it on the free edge and then I am lightly feathering it down just so that it stays on the nail tip. And then I am making sure that I'm dragging my brush along the side to keep that perfect shape. That is really how I keep my shape to my nails. I will talk you through on the next nail again. But then next I'm going to do another bead to support the apex and the curve of the nail right on top of that free edge again, and then lastly at the cuticle. Make sure when you pick up your cuticle bead, it is not too wet and not too dry. Make sure you are holding the finger downward so that the acrylic is not running all into the finger, but you want to make sure that that consistency is perfect so that it's just not running and falling all over the place. So right here, as you see, I'm going to pick up my first bead and place it on the free edge. So as you see, I take my brush and I swipe the sides first so that I'm guiding the acrylic. This is just the easiest way for me to do it. Another tip is to make sure you are holding the finger down. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I take my brush and I swipe along the sides and then I hold the finger down so that the acrylic, it's not completely wet or runny, but it is definitely, when you first place it, it kind of has a little more of a loose type look, if that makes sense. So you want to have the finger hanging down so that when the acrylic slides or anything like that, it's not just running into the cuticle area or getting all over the skin. If it does get on the skin, you want to take the tip of your brush and just wipe the sides to remove that. And then after that, applying my cuticle bead to the cuticle area. The easiest way to guide your acrylic down the nail or in the place that you want it to go is to use the very tip of your brush. You see right here, I'm going to brush it down, but then I'm going to take the tip of my brush and very lightly, gently feathering and pulling it down the nail. Not to where I'm wiping it completely off, but I'm feathering it. So as I'm pulling it, it's still sticking to the nail tip. But using the tip of your brush is probably the easiest way to guide the acrylic to where you want it to go so that it is controlled and it's not running all over the place. Alright guys, so after I have applied my acrylic, I'm going to take my Pana 80 grit zebra file and I'm going to sharpen up those sides again, just to make sure, of course, that nail is still nice and crispy after applying the acrylic. I'm going to sharpen up the tip and then I'm going to take it and blend and taper the tip of the nail also. After that, I'm going to take my cuticle bit. I got my cuticle bits from McCart. I will link it down below. And I'm going to carefully take my time and go around the cuticle area, making sure that I do not nick my client's skin, but I make that slight groove in the nail so that the cuticle area is separated from the acrylic. I'm not making a huge indentation. It's literally a third away from the cuticle area. I'm just blending it down so that it looks as if the acrylic is growing out of the client's nail. So if you see right here, I'm making a slight divot. So like if you run your fingernail on the back of that, it'll feel like the nail is growing from the skin. But it's not noticeable. It's not a big drastic gap or anything like that. I'm just making sure that any acrylic that could possibly be touching the skin or attached to the cuticle area, I'm making sure that I make it flush and blend it very well. Alright guys, so after I buff and clean up the nail, I'm going in with these two colors and I am going to apply 2 coats. I skipped the first coat just to speed up the video so it wouldn't be too long. And so on one nail, I'm going in with like a design in bling, and then the other nail I'm going in with just bling. So I wanted the glitter to be thicker on one nail and thinner on the other, but this gold is to die for. I really like it. And because the nails are longer, I'm going to dry in my UV lamp for about 45 to 60 seconds, but I typically do 60. Now I'm going to go in with my IDB whipped cream and I'm going to draw some freehand design on one nail on each hand. This is just something that was in my head and I wanted to get it out. Typically, I don't really know how to formulate my designs. They kind of come out very random. A lot of times they're very abstract. Unless the client asks for something in particular, I just go with the flow. And this is what I was feeling. After that, I'm going to cure it in the lamp for 30 to 40 seconds, and then I'm going to add I don't know why I can't talk today, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to add my top coat and then add some bling. My go-to top coat is the Valentino non-wipe top coat. I apply a layer to each nail and cure for 60 seconds. So right here, I'm going in with my Zulay Bling adhesive. If you are not hip, get hip, because it is literally the best adhesive to applying bling on the market. That's all I can speak for. Haven't really tried anything else. If you can't get Zulay Bling glue, you can also try Bondini. Bondini is pretty good too, but it's very runny and you have to act fast. So this right here was just some random bling that I added so that it would stand out against the gold, but also go with the theme of the fall style birthday nails. My client gave me free reign, so this is what I came up with. I'm using some larger sizes, and then I go in with some very tiny SS5 crystal AB diamonds to accent this particular finger. On the opposite finger, I do something completely different just because she gave me free range, and I like to do different things when it comes to bling instead of doing the same thing over and over on each hand, unless they ask for something in particular. So right here, I just went in and accents the little tiny circles with the smaller crystals as well. Crystal size is SS5 and SS3. Alright guys, so now I'm going in with my D&D No Cleanse top coat, and I am just simply taking it with a basic small dotting tool, and I am encasing the crystals. That way, when my clients are using their hands, their hair is not getting caught on them, they aren't catching them on clothes or anything, so that they don't pull them off or rip them off. Typically when I do this method, my crystals last at least the whole time until they get their fill. So whether they come back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month, I'm telling you, the diamonds do not go anywhere. It is very rare for my clients to they come back and their diamonds fall off. I don't know about any other top coat for encasing, but I mean, as long as you're using a nail wipe and you go around the crystals, not on tops of them, because if you do on top, it will take away the shine. As long as you go around them, it should be fine. But it must be a no wipe. Alright guys, that is it for the video. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video. I need help, guys, with coming up with content. These nails came out perfect, but I would like you guys to drop down below in the comments what you want to see next. Help me out. Alright, don't forget, glitter makes everything better, so keep shining. I will see you in the next video. Peace. These nails came out bomb.